Introversion can be seen as a weakness, especially in a world where the louder you are, the more confident you are considered to be. Navigating in such a world wants to make you become that extrovert person, and you may want to try doing different things like the extroverted people. But doing that only takes away from you the beauty that you have as an introvert, and that's exactly what I'm going to be talking about today, because personally, not only am I an introvert, but along with that, I am an HSP, which means a highly sensitive person. I will start off by defining what these terms actually mean, and after that, I will tell you how you can be happy as an introvert, because there is also this misconception about introverts being more prone to depression. But why is that, and how to deal with it? Hey guys, what's up? I'm Sadaf, and if you are new to my channel, welcome to my channel. I make videos to inspire and empower women, and in today's video, I will be talking about introversion, but normally I also talk about topics such as confidence, productivity, mental strength, and it is also my own journey of development along with this channel. So if you are interested, subscribe to my channel and let's get started. As an introvert myself, I have always struggled with the fact that why do I function differently? Why is it that I want conversations to be a lot more on a deeper level instead of being so superficial as they are most of the time with people? And being a highly sensitive person made me further prone to such kind of stimuli that you have outside in the environment. I am very sensitive to too much light. I am very sensitive to loud noises and other such things like smells sometimes. Along with that, also being around people that make me feel bad about myself is something that brings me down, and it has taken me a long time to actually understand how I function personally and what it means to be an introvert and what it means to be a highly sensitive person. And today I can manage to deal with it in a much better way because I have allowed myself to take time and reflect on what are the situations that make me feel good and what are the situations that make me feel bad. At the same time, I have been working on my own strengths, which means that I have really been focused on what are the strengths that I can further build upon and what is it in me that I consider to be positive points. And all of that, by doing all this work today, I managed to handle situations in a much better way, may that be in surroundings, may that be with other people in social circles or by myself. Even though I'm not an expert on this topic, but living like that every single day is something that I think that I can share with you a few tips so that you can also deal with it more effectively, and so that you can maybe get inspired from the tips that I will be sharing in this video. So first of all, let's talk about what it actually means to be an introvert and a highly sensitive person. Introverts are those who feel less energized when they are in social interactions, which means that they lose their energy when they are in social interactions and they need time to be by themselves to re-energize themselves. But there is this scale of introversion and extroversion, and you can be somewhere on that scale. So that means that on one extreme you have the extroversion and on the other extreme you have introversion. So you may be somewhere in the middle, or maybe more towards the introvert side or more towards the extrovert side. So personally, when I took my test on 16personalities.com, I took that very recently and I learned that I am an INFJ. Apparently this is one of the most rare personality types that exists, and that's interesting. But at the same time, I have to say that I really found myself in the description of this personality type on that website. I will leave a link to that website if you want to do a test of your own personality type. I did that because I really wanted to come up with my own strengths. I needed to find them to do an assignment that I was doing for a personal development program. So I took this test, and actually it answered so many of my questions around my personality, around the way I behave, the kind of career that I would like to have, and everything else. So I highly recommend that you take the test to get to know a little more about how you function as a person and what are the strengths that you have as a person and what are your pain points or your weaknesses that you can be working on. Now coming towards the highly sensitive personality, these are the people who have an increased central nervous system sensitivity to different stimuli such as physical, emotional or social. The signs can be that you have very deep emotional sensations, whether they are positive or negative, which means that you are able to feel life a lot more than other people. So if you are happy, you are extremely happy and you feel that in your entire body. And if you are sad, you are so sad that you feel that all over your body on a very deep level. On the other hand, you are a very empathetic and generous person. You have a tendency to overthink and you think very deeply. And sometimes you feel inadequate and you are very prone to criticism. You can be easily overwhelmed and you need time to recharge. And you are highly intuitive as well. And combine these two, introversion and HSP, and together it forms something that can be very deeply felt on a personal level, and that is something that makes you feel sometimes inadequate, or sometimes you feel like others do not understand you, or you are misunderstood, or you give an impression that you do not really want to give. I do feel things very deeply. I am very sensitive to different stimuli, whether they are emotional, whether they are physical. Even in social interactions, I am very selective, and there are people that I can feel very comfortable with, but there are also people that are going to take energy away from me. So I have to make sure that I am taking care of my energy. So when you are living in a world that appreciates that kind of extroversion and that appreciates the fact that you go towards others and you talk and you are outgoing and you are social, in that world, being a person who likes to be by yourself, who likes to enjoy your own company, despite the fact that you personally are enjoying that, you feel that it is something that is not okay. You should also be more outgoing, which is completely absurd. But honestly, I have done that for a very long time, and I think that even today I'm making that effort of making this shift. So let me share with you the 5 tips that are going to help you become happier as an introvert and live your life to the fullest the way you are. So make sure you watch this video till the end to make the most out of the tips that I will be giving you in order to live your life to the fullest as an introvert and as an HSP and in general as a person. So let me start with a quote by Audrey Hepburn, who says, "I have to be alone very often. I'd be quite happy if I spent from Saturday night until Monday morning alone in my apartment. That's how I refuel." We think that being this way and wanting to be in your own company and spending time by yourself is something that is not normal and that needs to be cured, because you have to be a better public speaker, you have to be better at interacting with people, you have to get better at networking, and of course you have to do all the other side hustles that you should be doing in today's world. And so it makes you this kind of a person who has to be on social media and be on all those platforms and do all those things that you have to do in order to show a certain face of yourself out there to the world. But let me give you an example, and here I'm taking the example of my own son, who is today 8 years old. And when he was a baby, like 1 year old, when we used to have those family gatherings and stuff like that, he used to take my hand and take me to a room where there was no one, and he closed the room and he just wanted to be there with me, spend time with me and do nothing else, because he used to get overwhelmed by all of these people and what they were talking about and the noises and everything, and he just needed time by himself with me. So initially I used to think that he's doing that because he needs to be fed, but later I understood that there was nothing related to hunger. It was simply his need to be with someone who is closest to him, and simply because he just wants this time to refuel, to re-energize himself. We know that very well as introverts, but we do not want to accept that. We are constantly pushing ourselves to believing that you have to, when actually you do not have to at all. You just have to live. You just have to be okay the way you are. You just have to be fine with yourself, simply. The second thing that you need to do is to learn to manage your energy to maximize your well-being. When I say manage your energy, it is that, for example, in the morning when you get up, you have 100% of energy. Then you go out there, you interact with people, and then it comes to 75. Then you interact with other people, and then it comes down to 50, and then it continues like that until the end of the day when you are at 0%. The thing is that with having a day like that, you are not allowing yourself to refuel yourself, and you are not taking some time to re-energize. So first of all, you need to know what is it that re-energizes you, and how can you allow that to yourself. If you are working from home, it is a lot easier, but if you are working from a place where you are with other people out there, what are the things that can actually allow allow you to re-energize, to take some time off and to just focus on yourself, to have tea, to just take time for yourself. And you just have to find the way that makes you feel better afterwards. And in my case, it is taking some time in my room, taking some time off drinking a tea, taking some time to just look out the window and just, looking at the scene and looking at other people. It can also be something like taking some time off and watching a film or a show or anything like that. Along with that, what I find is very reassuring for me is to just have routines that really make me feel home and that make me feel connected with myself. So for me, it's very important to have a morning routine, to have an evening routine. Along with that, other ideas can be like taking a nap, cuddling a pet, and also spending time in nature. So if you can allow yourself to take a walk during your day break, or maybe take a nap if that is possible in your workplace, that is also something that can actually re-energize you. And at the same time, you also have to think about every single thing that takes your energy away. Not every person exhausts your energy on the same level. It's different with different people. So if you manage to connect with a person on a deeper level, you will feel a lot more aligned and a lot more energetic compared to another person that is maybe talking a lot more nonsense and things that you are not interested in, and that may make you feel sapped of your energy. So make sure that you yourself are aware of what is bringing me energy and what is taking away the energy from me. Which brings me to the next point, which is learn to leverage all the strengths that you have. Because as an introvert, you have many strengths, and the thing is that that is not highlighted enough, and it is always blamed, the fact that an introvert is someone who wants to stay by themselves. So being by yourself is naturally something that means that you are isolated and you are lonely and you are feeling depressed, which is not true, but you still are made to feel that way. Your biggest strength as an introvert is the fact that you do not need anyone else. For God's sake, you do not need anyone else to be happy. You can be happy by yourself. You can completely coach yourself by yourself. You do not need the constant intervention of other people. You can make a very good judgment from your own mind. And even in scenarios where you need to ask for advice to other people, even in these cases, the best way is to actually at the end take your decision yourself, because that is the best guide that you have, and you are your own inner compass. So keep that in mind whenever you feel like you do not have any strength. Actually, extroverts are more in need of social interactions, whereas you are not in need of that. So that is your biggest strength in itself. A few things that come to my mind is that you can be highly creative. You can be someone who is very insightful because you are way beyond the superficiality of what the world is actually into. You are a lot more analytical because you make very informed decisions. You take your time and then you make a decision that you know that you are completely fine with. You can be very principled, passionate, self-disciplined. So use all of these strengths to your own favor because they are your power. They are your strengths. Here, let me share a quote with you which says, "In order to be open to creativity, one must have the capacity for constructive use of solitude. One must overcome the fear of being alone." And in terms of managing your energy, I forgot to mention this quote, but let's mention it now. A good rule of thumb is that any environment that consistently leaves you feeling bad about who you are is the wrong environment. Laurie Helgo. So this is a very good indication of your own feelings, your own inner compass. If you feel that you are feeling bad afterwards or you are feeling a lack of energy, then honestly, you have to listen to that voice and you have to listen to your own body and your own feelings. Tip number 4 is that take time to enhance your life. Take time for self-love, for self-care. Actually, it is such a strength for you to be an introvert because that means that you can practice so many different forms of trainings and learnings, and you can practice different kinds of arts and different things that you can do by yourself and without needing any company. For example, if it's not a good weather outside, you can still continue working on your own projects simply because you are okay with that, and you have so much to give within you that you can continue working on your own projects. And here I would like to share another quote which says, "Blessed are those who do not fear solitude, who are not afraid of their own company, who are not always desperately looking for something to do, something to amuse themselves with, something to judge." So this is coming from a very big author that I really admire. It's very important for you to look at this side of your introversion as well. Take time to cut off every single thing that makes you feel that introversion is wrong or introversion is bad. That is so true, that we are so blessed that we can spend so many hours reading and writing and doing all those different activities that other people would not feel like they can do. So make use of this time, make use of your time by yourself to create such projects that you are actually proud of, where you can use your potential and even maximize your potential by working on these projects. And lastly, don't try to become an extrovert. Your strength is your introversion. You are self-reliant. You do not depend on others. You depend on yourself. And that is your biggest power. So if you are an introvert, instead of allowing too much overthinking and too much such things into your mind that others are doing this and I am not a part of that, just put only positive thoughts into your mind. Put only things that make you happy. Personally, by following personal development programs, by following other courses and other such stuff that allows me to learn different tools, that brings me a lot of fulfillment. Your solitude will be a support and a home for you even in the midst of very unfamiliar circumstances, and from it you will find all your paths. Whether you are an introvert or an extrovert or an ambivert, or you do not even want to relate with any of this, it does not matter. But what matters is that you yourself understand the life that you are, the person that you are, the things that bring you to life, the experiences that make you feel happy. Take time to study yourself. Take time to observe yourself, because instead of looking at other people, if you took some time and you observed your own self, you are going to find so much treasure and so many beautiful things about yourself that are going to make you want to live life entirely, because there are so many people out there who do not even allow themselves to live life. Forget all of that and just focus on yourself and keep excelling and keep taking care of yourself. Please like this video if it brought some value to you, and at the same time subscribe to my channel if you would like more such videos. I will see you in my next video. Take care. Bye.